Hello, fellow achievers. You know what? No one goes out there looking for mediocre people. We always look for excellent people to do what we desire for them to do. When you always go to open your drawer, you don't go for the blunt knives, you go for the sharp ones. Are you a blunt knife, a mediocre one, or are you a sharp knife? Today, we talk about sharpening the tool that you are. Now, more gold has been mined from the minds of men than from the earth. As we talk about identifying which tool you are in the last session and who you are becoming a reality, today we now talk about sharpening that tool, sharpening you. And the first thing that we talk about here is mindset. Why we have an emphasis on sharpening that tool is because then a blunt tool is useless to its master. That if you are going to be as successful as you desire to be, get to that next level and that higher pay, get to a certain realm and clout in your area of expertise or industry, then you must be sharp. You must sharpen who you are. Now, a big part of sharpening is where? Right here, between your ears. That small part of real estate is the most important thing that you need to sharpen. Now, some questions come to me. Is there a way that you think that is actually hindering you from being successful, from reinventing yourself, from getting to the highest level? Now, there's a thing about studies. There's studies that have been done about people who are successful, and there's one common thread, that there's a certain way that all of them think that allows them to play at a high level and be the successful people that they are. Mindset sharpening is about aligning your thoughts to be in a certain way to guarantee you success, to guarantee you high level productivity, to guarantee you super results. The way you think makes you. Your thoughts define who you are. So the first thing about sharpening who you are is looking right in between your ears and sharpening that. And that really takes a lot of unpacking in some of the sessions that we do on reinvention to try and identify, how do I think that hinders me from achieving the best that is out there for me? So that's the first part in sharpening that tool. The second thing is considering which wells to dig. Again, we are trying to sharpen the tool. So, as a tool, I'm a communicator. There are very many things that I can do with that ability or being that kind of a tool. Think about a knife. I can use it to weed my tomatoes. I can use it to cut. A bread knife, for instance, can be used to do many things. But then that's not the exact thing that it excels most at. Considering which wells to dig is about identifying the one thing that I would excel most at and pouring my energy at becoming good at that. So sharpening is about considering the well that you are going to dig. Now, wells are very significant, as in the old times, wells determined that you used them to feed your family, to water your flocks, to water your farms. So wells were significant. The more wells you dug, the more water you had. And in those times, the more resourceful a person you are, because you could water everything. And at those times, remember, people had 8,000 goats. So for you to water all those animals on a daily basis, you needed a well. Wells in our days signify sources of resources and where money comes from. So considering which well to dig is important. That you dig one major well that supplies everything that you need. And then you could dig other small wells that kind of just keep bringing, and you have a backup or something like that. In our day, it could be investment or many other things. But focus on one thing. Which well will I dig? And that comes in sharpening yourself. And then once you identify that well, you sharpen it. You become the best at who you are. I'm amazed that the king of pop, Michael Jackson, stood and spent so much time practicing, yet he was already king. He knew his well and he sharpened it every day until it killed him. Okay, unfortunately, I think he did too much. But you get the idea that you must sharpen which tool you are so that you can be the only good person at it. When people think about, they say you're the person that they're looking for. That's the second thing when it comes to sharpening which tool you are. The third thing about sharpening which tool you are is focus. Focus. Laser sharp focus. One of the things that I really struggled when I started out is that I was really multi-talented. I had many things I could do well. I could shoot, I could record, I could edit, I could do many things. And what I did is I became a jack of many things and a master of none. So people could never look for me for one thing. And as I continue to shift my mindset, remember that's the first thing when we sharpen our mind, is that I come to understand that people who are great are good mainly at one thing. Steve Jobs was asked, what are you most proud of? I mean, you would expect he would say, I'm proud of the iPhone, of the iPad. He said, I'm most proud of the things that I don't do. Ha! Wake me up. I'm most proud of the things that I don't do. That's focus. That's a guy who knows what he wants. And no wonder, iPhone really and iPads and the Mac and the Apple brand is really way up there in its game. They make computers just like everybody else, but then there's a certain idea about their computers that we all have. Okay? So the thing is here is that you need to focus and identify what's the one thing that you're going to get good at. I'm not saying ignore the rest, but be known for one thing as much as you can do a few more things. Be known for one thing. And focus is about identifying that one thing and getting good at it. Let me share a very personal example here. And I have some friends who are doing some recording right here. And initially I used to do my own recording. I used to do my own editing. I was the master editor, shooter, recorder, everything. I was everything in one. I could do that. I had some skill. It could save me some money. But again, that's not what I'm good at. I'm a speaker. My job is to speak. Let me focus on speaking. I will become better at what I do as opposed to become an average speaker, an average video recorder, an average everything. People never go out to look for average. They go to look for excellent. Are you excellent at what you do? Focus will get you there. Just imagine we have all these examples of a magnifying glass and playing with it. It's focus that turns the energy of the sun into a sharp ray that ignites a fire. It's the same thing. Don't think it's way out there. It's the same thing. Focus. Identify what you're going to do and then get good at it. That's it. Reinvention is now becoming a reality. It's a reality now. Now I know what I want to do. Now I know what I'm going to focus on and I'm going to get good at it. In the next session, we'll talk about positioning that tool for greatness. Thank you for taking some time to listen to me. It's always an honor and a pleasure. Are you looking to reach out to me? We have many people calling out and saying, help me here. Be one of them. Write to us. How is this coming out for you? Give us more ideas. Where are you on your journey? Reach out to me on my social media platforms. Write me an email. Let's talk. Let's have this conversation going. Again, thank you to all our corporate friends that we've been out there reaching out to you and working with your teams. We are always excited to come alongside you and help you. At the corporate level, I mean, just go above and say, how can I help my people sharpen? Are you at the organizational level and you're looking for such solutions? You know where to find me. It's always a pleasure. Helping leaders reinvent themselves is my mission. And I'm a communicator. That's the tool I am. Thank you.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.